that today, they walked away knowing when you see a veteran, you shake their hand, you hug them, you tell them thank them for their service. Because of them, we have the freedom that we have. They learned what the definition of patriotism is and to love our country and what comes with it. This is like my baby. It was really an honor to write this book, to honor him and to go over the history of the Beirut bombing. So it's not just, my brother, who I think is really cool, is an American hero, and all the Marines that served in Beirut and what they did and the sacrifices that were made. And so, not that there's a lesson in this, right? So really, I'm here to represent him. It's his story. It's Bill's story. It's the history of the Beirut bombing and the 241 Marines that were killed, and the servicemen, the sailors, and the servicemen, did I say that? Yeah, that were killed that day. It was the largest loss of life for the Marines since the Tet Offensive. It was the largest loss of life since Iwo Jima, and it was the largest non-nuclear explosion before 9/11. So I turned a horrible tragedy, the loss of my brother, I tried to turn it into something wonderful, amazing, and continue his legacy. And I think by me doing that, I know that he didn't die in vain, that he still lives on. So I started with the first book just to teach elementary age children, preschoolers, just exactly what patriotism is. Because if you go into some schools, they don't know what is patriotism, what does that word mean? I know it's a big word. So we started pretty basic with just a heart and a flag. And I thought that's something that's easy for them to remember, that's something catchy, they'll remember it. It's easy to read the words and apply your comprehension skills as you get older into elementary grades. But for the little ones, let's try pictures and symbols. So that way they can see that a heart plus the American flag equals patriotism. And then we go on to, of course, the definition as love for one's country. From there, we introduce the characters. So the only characters you'll see throughout my entire series of books, which I'm on my third one, I don't know how many I'll be doing, but it will always be my brother, always my son, and Patriot Pup. We might have a few little other, secondary characters as we go along, but they will always carry the story because they're very dear to my heart. And like I say, he carries the story because his legacy continues, even though he can't be here. It's the introduction of Patriot Pup. So they find Patriot Pup under this tree, and Patriot Pup is taken in by Sergeant Camara, and Patriot Pup wears a wonderful bandana that Sergeant Camara had, and that's kind of Patriot, exactly, good job. That's Patriot Pup's signature mark, is the bandana. So hopefully something to distinguish him from other characters. That's Patriot Pup with the patriotic bandana. In this book, the yellow Jeep was my brother's yellow Jeep, and he named it Rover. So I had a lot of adventures in Rover. He even took it to the Marine Corps base when he was stationed at Camp Lejeune, and he decided one night about 1 in the morning that they were all going to paint it camouflage. So Rover that was yellow turned into a camouflage Rover while he was stationed over at Camp Lejeune. And then capacity to protect and defend us. Selfless veterans, your family is worried about you and you need to calm down. He had me follow him to the station. He gave me crackers and water. He comforted me. Why? Why did this happen? I'll never forget, he said, I do not know